Maria is a spiritual coach, multi-dimensional healer, energy alchemist, breakthrough specialist, and wealth consciousness activator. She supports people in identifying their gifts and talents, discovering their life purpose, living their full expression with happiness, joy, abundance, passion, and prosperity. Maria, are you ready to rock this?
I am ready.
She's ready!
Are we live? Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be here, and thank you, Chris, for the opportunity to be in front of your beautiful audience. So very, very, very excited to be here, and I can feel the excitement from the previous speakers, and everybody's just ready, to move forward and ignite and create and transform. So I wanted to start off, if it's okay with you, by connecting everybody to the light, to their multidimensional self, to everything that is possible. So why don't we begin by breathing in, and I may be closing my eyes throughout this process, so that's what I do. So don't worry about that. I'm here. Okay. Go ahead and take a deep breath and exhale. We're going to begin by closing our eyes, settling into our body, becoming very present in this moment, so that we can receive what we're meant to receive in this moment in time. We're going to drop from our head to our heart, opening up for more. And as we're doing that, our energy is expanding, allowing whatever needs to come up for us to let go and release, to leave our field, to clear our field so we can invite and attract more in that's in alignment with who we are. So we're going to continue to breathe into that space of peace, that space of oneness, the space where it's all possible for us. Continue to breathe. And as we continue to breathe, now we're going to continue to ascend. We're going to ascend above our belief systems. We're letting go of everything we bought into, our environment, our conditioning, our stories. So we're ascending above all of that, from our family, society, humanity, letting go of everything that is no longer serving us, no longer in our highest good, align with who we are and the direction we are moving into, in the direction of our light, our full human potential, our gifts and talents. So as we move into the space, I'm tuning into the energy of the group, and I'm inviting everybody who is here now and everybody else in the future who listens to this recording to come into the space and to allowing surrender and trust, to know that they're meant to be here, to know that they're significant, they matter, and they're here because there's so much more for you to receive. Very good. I can see all the beautiful lights connecting, and moving and ascending into the universal field, connecting into the oneness of who we are. The universe is within us. We are the universe. Everything is possible. And in this space where everything is possible for us, we're going to, again, continue to go inward, to look at ourselves, and we're going to look at our true self. Our true self is the one that knows that it is all possible, the one that does not know any limitations, the one that doesn't know fear, the one that trusts, the one that believes, the one that surrenders and goes for it. As we tune into that part of us, we're going to bring the part forth to be here with us, to take it on. Very good. And in this space, we're going to begin to unlock our talents, our skills. We're going to start dreaming bigger than we were. Again, moving into pure potential, pure possibility. Allow your creative mind, allow your energy, your creative energy to show you what is possible for you and embrace it, accept it. See your greatness, see your magnificence, feel into that truth of who you are. Ooh, very beautiful. I can see the colors coming in and out from all your fields as you're opening up to more, as you're claiming more, as you're allowing more, as you're saying yes, yes, yes. This and more. Amazing life, amazing career, amazing relationship. Being in contribution and service. Yes, yes, yes. And more, and more. Living a life of purpose. Living a life of abundance. Living an extraordinary life by design. So everyone's energy is playing in the field. So they're moving around everywhere, just enjoying being here. So we're going to allow them to stay here in this space. We're going to come back to our awareness, but we're going to stay in that vibration. We're going to stay in that energy we just tapped into. We're going to allow ourselves to surrender in that space of possibility, of pure potential. And we're going to come back into our awareness, dropping into our heart, ready to receive. So when you're ready, you can open your eyes, knowing that you're in the field of pure potential. And from here forward, everything that you state, everything that you claim is already on its way. Very nice. Very beautiful. Wow. Very good.
Amazing.
All right.
Holy moly.
And you can stay there as long as you want. You want to bring the dimensions toward you instead of trying to reach for it. You want to bring it to you and bring it into this reality, because this is where you're creating. This is where you're manifesting. So you want to tap into the energy and bring it down and be in that energy. That is the how you master the art of manifesting. Gratitude, forgiveness, self-acceptance, believing, knowing, trusting, being your true self. Very good.
Wow.
Yay.
All right. So we're starting off so juicy. I love meditation. I love manifesting. I love creation. And I'm sure you're going to be answering some of my questions and questions on behalf of the audience that we're going to have through this interview. And we like to start off with the theme of the day, which is evolution. And Maria, I know you're evolving in all sorts of awesome ways. So specifically, how are you evolving yourself, your community, your industry, your corner of the world, so to speak? How are you bringing innovation and pioneering for future generations?
Oh, thank you. I love that question. So my passion is to work with humanity, to raise the vibration, to unlock the human potential. I do that in many ways, through contribution, through monthly, weekly calls, through my work, my one-on-one sessions, to my programs. And it's really about, creating a new modern era of awakening, of consciousness where doubt doesn't exist, limitation doesn't exist, fear doesn't exist. And we're making a lot of progress. Yeah, a lot of people are in that field, and there's a huge acceptance to moving in that direction and wanting to be more and wanting to step into their true selves and their best selves. So it's making my work a little bit easy.
There's momentum.
There's momentum already, and people are awakening to okay, this life is not really working for me. I want more. So what can I do? Who do I need to be? And it's not who do I need to be, somebody else outside you. It's I need to be inside. Who am I? Who's the true self? Who is the light within? So, yeah, it's amazing. And I love what I do. And I have a practice around being that, and a practice that I give everyone so that they can be in that space every day. And I can share with you guys. It's really easy. The first thing that with everybody that I work with, when you wake up in the morning, have your self-care practice. Part of it is you connecting to yourself and seeing, what can I do today to continue to move forward as the best version of myself? And listening to your guidance. without judging what's coming up, without questioning or criticizing. The next thing is, what can I clear? So when you're asking, what can I clear, you're looking at, what belief system do I have there? What fear, what doubt? What is it about that is in my way that I can, first of all, recognize and then choose to let go? And then gratitude. What are you grateful for? And it's not just being grateful for, having a car, or having a house, having, material things. We want to be grateful for all those things, but we also want to be grateful for ourselves, because we tend to put everybody else first, including our family, and that is awesome. We want to do that as well, but we also want to take care of ourselves, because we are the center of our universe. And without us, so without you, you can't create it around you, right? So you have to be in that place to be able to feel your infinite self and create as you move forward. So you want to be grateful for you, for having the courage to be on your journey, for having the courage to move forward, for having the courage to step out into the world, be seen, be revealed, be heard. And your relationship with your own self, of self-acceptance, self-love. So you want to be grateful for all those things, and also forgiveness. Forgiveness gets in the way of many things. We often punish ourselves if we feel we did something that was against our integrity, or if we hurt someone. We punish ourselves. We allow that to be a block, or if we punish others. So we want to practice forgiveness. So as part of your morning self-care, who can I forgive today? What can I forgive myself for? And just let it be, let it be, let it be, because it opens up the space within you to allow more in, to attract more of what's in alignment with you. And the other one is just being, right? I choose to be happy. I choose to be joyful. I choose. And that is one of your gifts, is the power to choose, moving away from victim into creator. So that is the morning practice. And it's amazing, because now you're living it, right? You're stepping into who you say you are.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. so much juiciness there. I love, talking about the evolution, creating this new modern era of consciousness. And by the way, I love that meditation. If anyone listening or watching, if you love that meditation, type in, that was awesome, because that was awesome. And just starting off with that was amazing. And then, moving from victim to creator, that is so huge, that we have this God spark, this power of the universe, of infinite possibility within us, and it's just peeling away the layers of belief system that get in the way of that. And it really starts, like you said, with that daily practice of self-care, self-love, and clearing. I think that's a huge distinction that a lot of people don't do. It's all like, well, what am I going to do today? What's the forward movement? Where am I going? And then gratitude is pretty common as well. But the clearing of, what can I let go of? What can I surrender back to nature? What can I release? What can I stop trying to control and have it my way? And just how can I jump more into the flow of life? And I think that's a huge distinction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so I just wanted to add one more thing to that, to the clearing. Many times we don't tune into that because we don't want to see what's there, right? There's a belief that if we acknowledge that there's fear, then we're weak, or that we're vulnerable, but not vulnerable in the sense of power, vulnerable in that we are being a fraud when we're in front of our audience, we're in front of our clients. So many times we avoid looking at that part of us, but the more you embrace that part of you, because you want to be the clearest channel, you want to be your true self, your authentic self, you want to be revealed, you want to be transparent, because that's where the power is. That's where the power within you to transform others, because they can see you for who you are and they can see your authenticity. So it's pretty powerful when you just, okay, I'm taking it on, I'm doing this, I accept that I still feel fear, I still feel doubt, or that I feel not enough. Well, I'm clearing that. I'm taking it on, I'm clearing it. I'm not going to let that be in my way anymore. And just, if it comes up 20 times a day, or 25 days in a row, it doesn't matter. It's your higher self saying, hey, you committed to this. You said you wanted to be the best version of yourself. You said you wanted to be the clearest channel. So there's another layer. There's another layer. There's another layer. And when that comes up, you say, thank you for showing me what I need to clear to be the best version of myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. So you shared about this is gold already, and you shared about what you're working on today. You got coaching, you got, monthly, weekly stuff, all kinds of amazing things. And we want to get to know Maria a little bit better. So let's go back a little bit and tell us how you gained these, what other people might say superpowers. You can call them superpowers, you can call them natural powers, and I think that they're gifts, and we all have these abilities to draw out our own gifts and, in any possibility, infinite potential within each of us. So tell us, what was that journey like? Where did you come from, and how did you get to where we are today? Because it's beautiful.
Thank you. Well, I was really fortunate to be aware of my gifts from a very early age, about 5 years old. And, I just started seeing a lot of things. My clairvoyance was really open. So I could see a lot of things happening around me. But to me, it was it was real. And as I got older, I made the distinction that something else is happening here. And then by my 20s, my gifts really amplified. All my clairs were open. So at that point, I decided they're not going anywhere. So let's figure out how I can use this. And so from my 20s out of college, I started sort of seeking out mentors and coaches to help me evolve my gifts so that I can use them to serve, help, and support humanity. And it's been a beautiful journey. It's been amazing. I mean, I've met so many wonderful people, and I've uncovered so many things about the gifts themselves and the process. It's just been extraordinary. And what I've also learned in the process is that when you stay still, so when I work with my clients, if I just stay still and just, again, become that clear channel, many more gifts come that I didn't know were there, because that's what the other person needs. The person that's in front of me, that's what their higher self is asking for. So these gifts sort of continue to evolve. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been, it's been an incredible journey, and I've loved every minute of it.
I love it. So I love that, you've enjoyed the journey and it's been so beautiful. Were there any challenging parts? Because it sounds like it was just a bed of roses.
Yes, there were some challenges very early on.
Yeah.
So I said I was clairvoyant. I'm a seer. So I see darkness as well. And when you're you're 4 or 5 years old, you don't know what to do with it. So that was a little bit challenging, and my parents didn't know how to handle it. So they encouraged me to shut down my gifts, which I did for a while. And then in college, that's when something happened, something changed, and I was kind of called forth to transform my gifts and evolve my gifts. But what was also interesting about that was that when they were really amplified, many times I didn't know in which reality I was.
Wow.
So it made it very difficult to connect with people. It made it difficult to fit in. And there was a sense of feeling different and not belonging, even a sense of loneliness. And I'm sure many people that are gifted can relate to that, many empaths, many sensitives, because, we're trying to understand what's happening, and there aren't many people that you can go to and talk about. Yeah. So it was, there were years in my 20s where I felt really lonely, where I felt disconnected from the world, where I felt like, I don't know, there's something wrong with me. But fortunately, I was guided to the right people, and they made it, just very natural to be in my gifts. And that's my goal too. I have 3 children, and they're all gifted. So my goal is, to make it very natural for them to know success, for them to know abundance, for them to know, their ability to connect to other people's energy, their ability to see. And this is where my passion lies, that as humanity is coming up, they're no longer going to shut down their gifts, because, the world is now ready for them. The world understands that we have a new era of superhumans, really, that don't have to shut down their gifts, that they can be in their gifts and still be able to function in this 3D. So yes.
That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. So the challenge was the gifts and how you didn't know how to handle them, and then you got them in the 20s, and it just like had you feel a little bit disconnected because of the blurring between the realities and how do I relate this with people? You know, you're dealing with like this whole other dimension or layer of information that you have to like process and deal with, and other people like don't even see it. So it's like frustrating because could be frustrating because you're like trying to manage both of them at the same time, and one of them doesn't recognize the other.
Yes, it was, it was frustrating many times. It was very lonely. And even, sometimes it felt like I was going into depression because it's like, how can you relate? There's so many emotions because you're absorbing everybody else's feelings and emotions, but you don't realize it at the time. I didn't realize it at the time that I was processing for other people, that I was tuning into the people. So, I didn't know what was going on until, again, I found the tools and the resources to distinguish my energy, my feelings from everybody else's, to be able to discern what was mine and what wasn't. And then again, be able to use those tools to, to support others on their journey and their path.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. I love it. So thank you for sharing that part of your journey with us. And, I think those challenges, when we hear what kind of challenges other people are going through, we can relate with that. We get to kind of empathize with that and put our own concerns. Either we can feel like, hey, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one going through these challenges. Or, with really traumatic or challenging things, it's like, oh man, like I'm not going through something that bad, at least I'm making progress. I'm just a little bit frustrated or lacking clarity or whatever it might be that people are dealing with. So that will move us right into our next, portion, which is about the ego, which is what we wanted to talk about today, and releasing the ego, because I'm sure the ego had a lot of, doubts, fears, stuff like that came up along your journey, and you had to learn to process that and to like tame the ego, or, just like how to have a relationship with it that serves you in this world. So I'd love to hear what you discovered in your journey with ego, and just share about what we need to do to really harness and master our ego and be able to be that conscious light worker and influencer that we want to be.
Yes. Well, the ego is really interesting because it's really a part of you that is never going away. And most of us think that we're going to kill the ego, remove the ego. Well, you can sort of, appease it, but it's never going to go away. It's a part of you. It was created when you were very early in your years, 4 or 5 years old, where you were trying to understand the world and everything happening around you, and you were looking to your parents, to society to understand, and then you created these stories of doubt and fear and all the other limitations. So the ego now comes up, but the part of you that is triggered is not the adult, it's the child. So if you can understand when the ego comes up and it feels threatened, it feels victimized, it feels afraid, it feels frustrated, then you want to tune into what is happening with the inner child. The inner child wants to feel safe. It wants to feel validated. It wants to be significant. And when you realize that there's a connection with you, your inner child, and your ego, and you can tune into what is it that is coming up for me, you can fill that void, because the child is always looking for love. No, we are always looking for a love. But many times the trauma that we have is because we didn't experience love. We didn't experience our significance from our parents or the people that were supposed to be there for us. So as we are, as you are triggered, you want to look at, what does my inner child need? Why am I being triggered? It is the ego that is coming up, but it really is the inner child. So you want to bring them both together, fill that void. I am significant. I matter. I am loved. I love myself. And then, thank you, ego, for showing me that there's still something there. Let's put you over here. Now I'm in control. I'm the adult. I am moving forward. I am confident. I have the resources. So again, it's the parent-child or, the adult, the child relationship. But in reality, you're all moving to becoming a happy family. The ego is that part of you that throws the tantrums. is a part of you that says, I want, or I didn't get, and that blames you, that, rejects you, gets angry at you. So you want to look at your ego and, okay, what's going on right now? Why am I being triggered? Why do I feel victimized in this situation? Why does the ego? Okay, the ego doesn't feel validated. It feels disempowered. It feels helpless or hopeless. Okay, well, I'm not that. I recognize consciously that I'm not that. So I'm stepping into my power. Thank you, ego, for showing me that. And I'm letting go of that now so that I'm not triggered in the future. So you continue, it's not analyzing, but coming into your own awareness of, where is this coming from? Is it coming from my childhood, and what part of my childhood? What's the belief system? What's the emotion? What's the story that is coming up for me right now that the ego is showing me? Does that make sense?
It does. And I'm curious, because I heard, I think we could probably boil it down a little bit more to find out, like, what are the triggers? What are the signs to know if we're in control or empowered or disempowered kind of thing? But I wanted to also ask about the languaging, because I hear a lot of creator languaging that you're using, and other people might say, is it that easy? Or, if I'm just like saying what I want to happen, but I don't believe it, and I'm just trying to cover up doubt, I'm just trying to cover up insecurity, like, how do I deal with that? So I think there's a couple things to tackle there, but I just wanted to kind of throw that up.
That's a really good question. Yes, thank you for going deeper. So when you or the way you can distinguish when you're in ego or in something else is when you tune into yourself and say, am I in the energy of love? Because love is complete surrender, complete trust. If you're angry, frustrated, resentful, regretful, that's all ego. So anytime you're not in, I'm joyful, happy, loving, and unconditional love, I'm in ego. Okay, so now then you can look at the ego and say, what's happening there? How am I being triggered? Now, the part about being able to move out of the ego, yes, you can intend by either clearing your ego, and I can show you a quick process to do that. So what you do, you're going to bring in energy, you're going to bring your hands, you're going to clap them in front of you, you're going to rub them together, and you're going to open it up about 10 inches, and you're going to call in pure light, pure love, pure consciousness. Now feel the tingling between your hands. You'll feel a sensation between your hands. And when you feel that, you're going to bring it down to your knees and then roll it up your body and release it into the universe. So you just cleared a layer of that energy that was there, that was kind of, weighing you down. And if it feels like you need to do it a couple more times, do it as many times as you need to. And when you get very good at, this process, you may just use your hand or do it with intention, like clear my ego, and it's gone. Right. And really what you're doing is like you're saying, this energy that is here, that is not serving me right now, that is making me feel frustrated or unclear, I'm just going to take this and move it over here, and I'm going to release it, or I'm just going to place it here, and then I will acknowledge what's happening later there as I go in and look at where the trigger is. But, it's an easy process of you releasing the ego. So you can use the energy, or, again, what I said earlier about, am I in love, in the energy of love, or am I frustrated? Am I feeling victimized? Am I feeling angry? Am I feeling whatever that is other than love? You're in ego. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. There's another part of your question that I wanted to answer.
Creator language.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay. So when we look at how we are designing our life, we do it based on our alignment with who we are. And our alignment with who we are in our true self is powerful, infinite, full of love. Because we were created as the reflection of the universe. The universe is within us. Source, some people may say source, God, energy, whatever, the God of your understanding, whatever resonates with you. But we are so much more than this body. This is the body that we're here, having this human experience. So as we're creating, first of all, from our experience. And we're creating not knowing that this was basically a dream given to us. All these belief systems that we took on, that we bought into. But as you're awakening to, not all of this is mine. So I'm going to start choosing something different. Maybe one belief system is you cannot be successful as an entrepreneur, or you cannot be successful as a coach, or you don't have the skills or the talents. Well, that's somebody else's story. It's not mine. So I'm choosing to let go of that is not my reality. So again, you can start choosing what is in alignment with you. I choose that I am here for something greater. Whatever that is, it will unfold because I am moving in the direction of my light. I'm committing to why I'm here and to uncovering either my gifts, my talents, or if I already know, then I'm just surrendering to my soul's mission, my life purpose, and just going for it. And as you continue to do that, as you continue to trust and surrender, you're creating what's in alignment with the empowered you, not the one that didn't know, not the one that took on the belief systems of humanity, society, family. Does that make sense? So you're moving into designing a life that works for you, because now you're choosing what it's going to look like. You're choosing what you want for yourself, not what everybody else said you should have.
Wow. So it's simply choosing again and again and again, and that will get you more into the alignment. Is there a situation where someone can say, I choose, but it doesn't have any power or doesn't have any weight behind it?
Well, absolutely. When you're saying you choose, but you don't believe it, so there may be unworthiness there. There may be an element of deservingness. There may be an element of doubt or fear. Those may get in your way. So if you're feeling those emotions, if you're like, I'm going to choose to have this amazing career, but I'm sort of afraid that, I may not have the skills, the resources, or the education, or the talents, or the look, whatever that is, that's you creating that story for yourself. So you can choose, okay, yeah, I can see how this is coming up, and I can see how I'm judging myself. So if I accept myself just the way I am, if I accept myself and everything about me, my wholeness, then you start letting go of some of that judgment that you have for yourself. And it becomes easier and easier to choose what's in alignment with you. So that's where the self-forgiveness comes in, because you're forgiving yourself for whatever those things are, the judgment, the criticism, and all those things that you keep punishing and sabotaging yourself. So forgiveness, self-acceptance, self-love, those will support you in igniting that power, giving you that inner power around your choice.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We got Cody, who said earlier that the meditation was awesome. Ava, who was just on, she said, I'm enough. Shamika said beautiful to the
you're enough.
meditation. So we got some fans out there. Thank you all. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll relay them to Maria. And the other thing is there a way to make it easier, this enlightenment, this tapping into consciousness, to make it easy, or like a quantum leap, or like that kind of thing? Everyone wants the microwave solution. Is there a way to do it, or is it it like takes a really long time, or what's your perspective on that?
Well, this is a journey. However, there is a practice, and the practice is what we talked about earlier. Committing to yourself and your self-care, and being in that energy, and being in the energy that opens up more, or opens you up to more and raises your vibration, is self-love, forgiveness, and gratitude. And really practicing that, and allowing that to be you, and showing up in that energy in the world. Compassion, kindness, all of those energies move you into that evolution of yourself. Because when you're raising your own vibration, you're also raising the vibration of people around you. So you're bringing everybody up as you are evolving. And if people around you are also evolving, it's also releasing any resistance to you evolving. Does it make sense? Not that you have to, wait for everybody to come along. However, it does make it easier for you, because many times we want to bring our family along, we want to bring our loved ones. More importantly, is focusing on you, and then everybody would join you in the beingness of your true self, your authentic self, the light within.
Wow.
Self-love, forgiveness, gratitude, self-acceptance.
So I hear a lot of self, which is awesome, because we are our own, each individual. Is there any way to accelerate it? Let's say we have a spouse or a significant other. Is there a way to accelerate our consciousness or vibration raising together outside of, let's say, just like the self-care, right, that we do on our own? Is there anything that you've seen works for that to really accelerate the consciousness?
Are you asking how do you work with somebody else? And how, okay,
Yeah.
So I think you're asking about contribution, right?
Yeah.
How do I contribute to somebody else and in the same way raise my own vibration?
Correct.
So yes. So the reason I was talking about the self-care, self-love is that you want to give from a place and you want everybody to match where you're at, right? So you want to raise that vibration, and then as you're giving, they're experiencing your unconditional love. So they're moving into possibility for themselves. They're seeing that there is something more for them. They can let go of some of the belief systems that they have for themselves. And it's also loving them where they're at. Because we often want to fix people, and this is not about fixing. This is about accepting others where they're at, and from there, that's where they make their quantum leap. Because once you accept them where they are, they accept themselves where they are, then that opens them up for so much more. Because they're not trying to fix, they're not judging, they're not criticizing, they're not feeling less than, they're feeling more than enough. They're full of that love within, and they're bringing that best version of themselves out. And that opens them up for more and more possibility. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, and the other part of it is, if I want to sit down, for example, with my girlfriend and accelerate our vibration raising, is there any kind of processes or rituals or anything like that you would recommend that two people can do together to kind of like the mastermind principle, right? When two people come together, they create a third and greater mind. So it's kind of tapping into a higher level of consciousness and energy. Is there anything that you would recommend to tap into that mastermind of two people who want to experience more self-love, healing, forgiveness, and raising their consciousness?
Well, that's a really interesting question. So there's a couple ways you can do that. You can do it through meditation. You can do it through your own forgiveness with each other.
Okay.
Because that deepens your connection. And again, that removes all the layers. And you're both, again, moving into that higher space of love and unconditional love. And then it also creates a transparency, you know her and she knows you at that deeper level. And as the world around you continues to function and continue to roll and the ego is triggered, that connection is still there. So you continue to bring out the best out of each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that also helps you with your feeling supported, feeling that you're, that blind trust, the blind, I can always count on him. I can always count on her because I know them. I know them at that level. I know their soul. I know their spirit. And the other thing is when you go into forgiveness and you become responsible, that also does something to the relationship. Because it's not about what they did or what she did or the approach that they took. It's how you showed up into the relationship. Does that make sense? So if together you're embracing your experience and you're acknowledging when the ego came in and you're acknowledging when you weren't your best self and you're taking responsibility for it. You're not placing blame on the other person. You're really becoming that responsible because you are the creator of whether it's something that works for you, something that doesn't work for you. And that, again, evolves both of you and really raises you to that level that you're describing, that mastermind level, that higher consciousness. Because now the petty things are not that important.
I love it. Yeah, it's focusing on that bigger picture. And one thing that I do with my girlfriend is, for example, that I found works for us is there's a game called Yes and, right? It's create more of the creation versus the forgiveness, which I think both are important to, forgiveness to get into alignment, and then, okay, now we're in alignment. Now what do we do? And one thing that we do is play this game called Yes and, where I'll say, we're talking about this house that we are committed to living in the future. And so we say it's called the Phoenix Palace, just so everyone knows. It's called the Phoenix Palace because, That's Phoenix. So, I say the Phoenix Palace has, all this amazing space and it's beautiful. And she'll say, yes, and, the backyard is gorgeous, and the garden, we have herbs and all kinds of stuff like that. And then I'll say, yes, and. So it's just kind of like this creating, co-creating with each other, tapping into like that greatness and the possibility, and not canceling anyone out. Like her opinion and creation is valid, so is mine. And it's just like building on that energy. And that was a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's definitely beautiful, because now you're aligning your vision with hers,
yes.
or she's aligning her vision with you. So you're both moving in that direction, versus she has hers and I have mine, and then somewhere along the line we're going to meet. Yeah, and that creates that bigger foundation in your relationship, that structure in your relationship that's unbreakable, unshakable. So that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, it's like energetic trust, like the trust, mental trust, but it's like energy. It's like when I share that yes energy with her, it's like more and more and more, that's who I know her as, is like our visions are aligned, and it's like every time I think about her and I have a thought, then she is probably going to feel that type of energy that I had the thought with, and then she'll feel it. She'll have the thought. So I thought that was just amazing. So
I love that.
Yeah, it's so much fun. So we want to continue aligning with our highest self and even accessing our genius. So tell us more about accessing our genius and becoming limitless. What else do we need to know to really tap into that infinite power within us?
Good. Yes. So part of it is doing the work, right?
Yeah.
Accepting what is there for you in terms of the blocks, limitations, committing to letting them go, releasing them, really digging in for yourself. What is keeping me back? What is holding me back? What are my fears? And then being okay with whatever that is, moving through that, and then finding your passion, really finding why am I here? What makes me happy? And then once you uncover that, you get very clear in it by creating that vision, sort of what you described with your girlfriend, what you do about the house. But this is about the vision of your life.
Yeah.
And then once you have that, you start moving into possibility, which is also part of what you were doing, and this and that, and you start seeing yourself there. And you just allow your creative energy to flow, because you're moving higher and higher and higher into the vibration of I am enough and I am the creator. And you start getting downloads. You're starting to surrender to that trust within you. You're relying on you, that inner compass, your intuition, your connection with the higher self, which is the part of you that already knows, the part of you that has all the knowledge and wisdom that's available to you once you start listening to it and allow it to come through you. And that creates a lot of flow in your life. It moves you in alignment with who you are. And as you do that, again, it opens up your mind to so much more. You become more productive. More ideas flow. You take more action on what's in front of you. You have that inspiration, that motivation, that passion to fulfill them, to follow through with what that is. And again, it's a practice, but it's a very enjoyable practice, because it's just very progressive. Letting go of your belief systems, overcoming your fears, igniting your passion. What's my vision? So everything, again, moves into possibility per potential. That's where I'm living. You start to live in that energy of success, abundance, prosperity, flow. Because you've chosen and you stepped into that higher power of who you are. And in that place, fear and doubt may creep up. You acknowledge them, you see them, and you're like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can see that there's still something there, but I'm really choosing this right now because this feels so good to me. And you continue on your journey. Yeah.
Wow. Juicy.
And it is a process.
Yeah, no.
It is a process of you doing your own work, of taking the steps to create that vision and being very clear about it. Taking the steps of really uncovering your why. Taking the steps to manifesting. How do I manifest? What are the steps and how do I live it every day? And then again, gratitude, being in your flow, being so grateful for being you, for choosing this life. And again, how are you impacting the world around you? How are you being in service? Who are you impacting? How are you impacting them? And all that energy just continues to flow in, because You are rewarded for being you. You are rewarded for bringing something beautiful and unique, your own uniqueness into the world, so that you are blessed with more and more.
Wow. So what keeps people from doing the daily practices, and how can we, eliminate those obstacles or roadblocks or challenges or, self-sabotage out of our life?
Well, a couple of things. We usually get up and we're already going. We have a ton of things to do. So we don't take the time to get grounded in ourselves, to connect with ourselves, and to be very present in the moment. We just jump out of bed and we get going. So we're already, 10 feet in front of us, and we forgot to be grateful for the day. We forgot to say, thank you for this beautiful day, or say something to our children or to a significant other. We're rushing. So once you're on that path, then you're creating chaos in your life. You're getting frustrated with what's happening with the time, with being late, with being behind, with all these things. So you've already created that momentum for yourself. But if you step back, get grounded, get focused, get present, get centered, that day goes a lot better. You again become more productive. You handle things so much better. You can see things as they're coming up instead of being reactive, right, to what's coming up. So you're creating a day that it's in alignment with you. Instead of the day happening to you, you feel like you're in control, and not in the way that I have to control everything, but I am things. Today's a beautiful day. Yeah. I love what's showing up in my day today. It's so much fun. Instead of like, I'm late. This other project, this person.
It's like resourceful, able to respond. It's like, I can handle whatever comes my way today. Today's a great day.
Right. Yeah, instead of being overwhelmed and frustrated.
Yeah.
So you were asking me, why don't we practice it? Well, one is that it does take time. You have to make time for yourself. And often we make time for everybody else except us. So we're giving our power away to everybody else except us. We're honoring everybody else except us. So we really want to start committing to us and our own success, our own well-being. We want to commit to taking care of us, nurturing ourselves, nurturing our soul, moving into that infinite energy of who we are, so that we can create from a place of power, from a place of strength, instead of from overwhelm and frustration. So it really does take a commitment for everybody to do that. And they can start with 5 minutes a day, then bump it up to 10 minutes, then 15. If it's hard for you to find that time, just start with 5 minutes and then 10 minutes. And you bump it up until you have the adequate time that works for you. And as you continue to make that practice, it becomes easier. At the beginning, it's different. So anything that's new and different, there's a little bit of adjusting to it. Once you're there, it just becomes part of what you do.
I love that language.
Part of your day.
It's just a little bit of adjusting. That's it. People are like, this is hell. How do I meditate? How do I do my journaling? But you're like, nope, just some adjusting.
Yeah. And you know what? And it's not, when you think about meditation, people don't want to meditate, or they sort of resist meditation because they think that they have to sit still and do nothing. And that's one way. The other way is just allowing your thoughts to come through, because many times that's how you get your ideas. Yeah. Or just allowing to whatever is flowing out of you, like all the stress that you've had all week, just come up. Thank you. Okay, that one too. That area too. And just allow it. Just sit still for 5 minutes and just, okay. And just allowing whatever is going to happen, needs to happen, and let it be. 5 minutes. Then, okay, good. So what's my next step? What action can I take? What can I clear? Maybe something came up during your meditation that gave you some action steps, an idea. Who can I call? Who would be the right person for that? And then, just little steps gets you into that place of, I am always in action.
Beautiful.
Always in action and alignment with who I am. Yes.
Yes. Awesome. This is gold. And we got a bunch of people. Petia saying meditation is everything. Gloria, daily affirmations. Barbara says, you're so right, Maria. You set the tone for your day. So, everyone, we're beginning to wrap this up because, we only have an hour with these things. And I know it was a little bit late wrapping last up. But, Maria, I know you had a gift for everyone who was in attendance today. So why don't we, share the last kind of closing thoughts and then let them know what we got for them, and then they can definitely stay connected with you, and how can they do that? So
thank you. So I just, first of all, thank everybody for being here today. It's been my absolute pleasure to be here in service and contribution. And just one last tip for you is put yourself first. When you put yourself first, the world around you just reflects that back to you. You raise your vibration, you raise everybody else's vibration. You create a deep impact in the world. So I have some gifts that I wanted to share. A couple MP3s. Plant Your Money Tree is one of them. The other one is Release Your Money Story. There's one other one, Victim and Creator. So I have those 3 MP3s, and all of them are meant to help you release belief systems, pattern stories, and move you into empowerment and into choice and into designing a life that works for you. That your very own unique, extraordinary life, and bring your vision forth and step into your greatness. So I sent you the links. I don't know how we can display that link to access these MP3s. And I also, if I could, would invite you to check out my website, 360 Prosperity. I have several events coming up. One of them is Ultimate You. It's a 10-week course, but it's all about what we talked about today, becoming limitless, overcoming all faces of fear, because there's so many aspects of fear, igniting your passion, being clear on your vision and your why, living in possibility, the art of manifesting, and living in your flow. And as part of that, I'm giving several free one-on-one sessions, because it's not just about going through and taking the steps, it's also uncovering what keeps you stuck and removing all those other layers that are there so that you can continue creating that movement within you and then into the world.
Beautiful.
So that's
beautiful.
Yeah, so, that's what I have. Thank you.
So what I would love for you to do, Maria, is right after this, go ahead and post up those links for the MP3 in the chat box, just so everyone can find them, and then they can also see your name. And for everyone who wants that one-on-one, I know you mentioned you only had I think 8 or 10 or something like that available for people. They can message you, or if this calls to you, for everyone listening, message Maria and get that one-on-one session with her. I had one. It was magical. I just felt her reaching into my soul and my brain and my heart and just tingling. It felt amazing. This felt really, really awesome, and I highly, highly recommend it, because it felt so freeing, and I felt so light and so just available for life after that. So Maria, I highly recommend Maria. You're awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Maria, thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you for all the work that you're doing in the world. Everyone who's listening, watching, type it in the comments if you want this. Type it in the comments or message Maria directly, whatever works best for you. Type in MP3s, type in session in the comments if you want that session. And Maria, thank you again, and we'll see you soon. Okay.
Thank you, Chris. I love it.
Awesome. Love you too. Take care.